I remember when I was little, I always thought that everyone else made a way bigger deal about it than what I thought was necessary. Though I now recognize that that was because of the fact that it was my normal and it wasn't really anyone else's normal, not the people that I was around. Like, since I was 5 months old, it was normal for half of my face to go numb and start twitching, or for half of my body to go numb and get really heavy. It was my normal, and yet I didn't even know the word epilepsy.
Did you know that epilepsy is the fourth most common neurological problem worldwide?
65 million people are directly affected, and that number does not include
My family, my friends, my teachers.
or even
Oh my god. Call an ambulance! Are you okay?
the random stranger passing them in the park.
Would you know what to do?
If you come across somebody having a seizure, there are a few important things that you should remember. Probably the most important thing is to stay calm. After that, you want to take a quick survey of your surroundings. If you notice any desks, tables, or chairs that could harm the person, make sure you move them out of the way. Now, this only applies if the person is having a convulsion seizure. If they are not having a convulsion seizure, you will not need to do this step. Next, you need to take note of what time the seizure started. You can either do this yourself or you can have someone who is with you take note of the time. But make sure you remember the time that the seizure started. This is very important. After that, if you have a jacket or a backpack, you want to place something behind the person's head. This will just help cushion their head if they are having a convulsion seizure. If you notice that this seizure has been going on for more than 5 minutes, you want to call 911 immediately. If the person has stopped having the seizure before the 5 minutes, the next thing you need to do is turn them on their right side into what we call a recovery position. You need to check their airway, make sure that they are breathing properly and their airway is open. Once you have done all of this, then if the ambulance has not been called, call 911 then.
Don't hold them down and don't put anything in their mouth. Either of these actions could lead to serious injury and must be avoided. Contrary to popular belief, someone having a seizure cannot swallow their own tongue.
Congratulations. You can now go share the information that you've learned and make the world a safer place for people with epilepsy.
But this is not all the information you need to know about epilepsy.
There's much more information to be shared, and a raise in awareness is desperately needed.
As a kid, I would explain everything to other kids by saying, oh, sometimes my brain will tell my eyes to start blinking, but instead of just blinking once, I'll start blinking and not be able to stop. And that was my explanation. It wasn't until after my epilepsy had resolved that I actually started researching, and it was pretty easy to find out that I had epilepsy. But it still took 8 years of Googling different types of epilepsy where the person is conscious, or putting in just all these different symptoms that I had, but I never found an epilepsy syndrome that fit. And then I finally found it after 8 years. Benign Rolandic epilepsy. All those symptoms just checked off the list. Finally, I wasn't the only one.
1 in 26 people in the U.S. alone will develop some form of epilepsy. There are 150,000 new cases of epilepsy in the U.S. every year.
1/3 of the people with epilepsy live with uncontrollable seizures because there is no available treatment that works for them.
Epilepsy does not discriminate. Everyone has a brain. Anyone can have epilepsy.
My name is Kelsey Scott. I have been affected by benign Rolandic epilepsy, and this is my step towards epilepsy awareness. What's yours?